Hey, what's up, guys? So, we finally got the new Spider Man No Way Home trailer. And I'm not here to do a trailer reaction because if you wanted to see a trailer reaction, you can see over 100 other trailer reactions out on YouTube right now. I just watched the trailer literally like maybe 30 minutes ago or what have you. And I'm just here to kind of give my review and my thoughts. And if anything, this trailer left me with a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have a lot of questions as well. So I'm just gonna dive into it. No fancy intro or anything like that. Just I am Renee. I am the Low-Key Geek here at the Low-Key Geek channel. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video if you want to see more in the future. For those of you returning, welcome back. So it's just a little discussion here. This trailer has been very much hyped up for weeks now, right? Everyone's been dying to find out when we're going to get another trailer. It was announced last week that they were having this huge fan event in LA that everyone knew once it was announced that this was going to be the day that they're going to officially launch the new trailer. And when we got the last one, obviously there were tons of speculations going around. You know, now we get hints that we are finally going to get to see Green Goblin, William Dafoe in the new Tom Holland Spider-Man. We of course got Doc Ock, Mr. Octopus there. Alfred Molina is returning. But there's speculations as to who else is going to show up because we're opening up the multiverse and what have you, and things are going to go crazy, and we're going to get a lot of inclusion from all the different Spider-Verses out there, right? Is Tobey Maguire going to come back? Is Andrew Garfield going to come back? You know, who else is coming back? Sandman, Electro, where's Jamie Foxx, you know, and what have you. So obviously the internet blew up once this trailer came out, and I wasn't even home. I was out running some errands and Twitter just blew up. And of course I knew it was because, again, we knew this event was happening, or we knew this was gonna go down, and we knew people were gonna go really crazy about it. So I ran home, watched it, rewatched it, watched it for a third time, fourth time, pausing, playing, pausing, playing. And if anything, this trailer gave you a lot of stuff. And, you know, with all the speculations as to how many villains we're going to see, that all went out the window because they just threw everything at us, right? So it is confirmed now that we are getting, obviously, Doctor Octopus, Green Goblin, Sandman, Electro, and the Lizard, right? The Lizard looks like it's coming from the Andrew Garfield universe, Electro as well, and then the rest are all from the Tobey Maguire world, right? But there are some things that are still left unanswered. For example, we don't see Tobey Maguire. We don't see Andrew Garfield. Does that mean that they're not in this movie? Who knows, right? I feel like there are some things left open. And one of the things that are kind of left open is I like what Doc Ock said to Peter in the trailer, that, you know, you're dealing with all these people who are fighting ghosts, right? They were all, you know, put to death, or they all died at the hands of Spider-Man from their world. So they're out for vengeance. They're out for blood, right? Even Jamie Foxx, when you see finally him in Electro, he says that, you know, I don't want to miss my chance, right? And all that. So we don't know if they're in the movie or not. Maybe they're not. Who knows? But there's one shot that I will show in a bit that makes me question if they are not, or maybe there's some other people at play here. But some of the other questions I had once I was viewing the trailer was really well done, well put together. The stakes have been risen. If this is indeed going to be one of the last Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, looks like he might be going out with a bang on this one. My fear is that this might be, in a way, not a cop-out, but an easy way to replace him if this is to be his last Spider-Man movie. You know, now with the multiverses opening up, Maybe he's going to get replaced with someone we don't know that comes into the mix. Is it going to be Miles Morales? We don't know. But with the multiverse, they could do anything, right? At the end of the trailer, you see this photo, this image, right, where, you know, Doctor Strange said, you know, they're all coming through, and I don't know if I can stop them all, right? Who is he talking about? Is this before the villains show up, or is this already after the fact? You know, there are two things at play here. It's like you have them dealing up with opening up the multiverse with things getting all screwy around them, right? Because of this spell that Doctor Strange and Peter tried to work on so that everyone can forget that he's, you know, Spider-Man, which is already something that was hinted in the previous trailer. So they're dealing with that. Plus now they're dealing with all the Spidey villains coming in. And I have a feeling the spell, what they did is that they honed in on the essence of Peter, of Spider-Man, and the spell went throughout and combed the multiverse and started melding them together, because he's like the primary middle ground. He's the main figure that the spell was probably being worked on. And that's why all of these universes that are based off of his stuff is coming into play here. At least that's my speculation on it. And again, there's going to be a lot of speculation here, so bear with me, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it too. So don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. But we get that at the end. So who is he talking about, right? So that's one question. We're going to see what that is, what's going to come to light there. Now, another question I have too is that when the other villains from the other Spider-Verses come through, are they changing? Because we get to see a little glimpse of a difference with Doctor Octopus. When, if this is his first time on screen in this movie, we see Doc Ock in his usual, you know, Doc Ock outfit with the normal arms and all that kind of stuff like that. Then later, and not that's, you know, far later, like very quickly after that reveal, which was revealed in the last trailer, we get to see Doc Ock with his arms looking a little different. They have like red highlights on them, and it looks like more tech has been added onto it. So what's the story behind that? Is that in a way, this universe that he got sucked into, did it alter him in a way that kind of like maybe it melded other versions of him from other universes to kind of changed his appearance? He's made very... He was, you know, well aware later on, as we see in the trailer, that the Peter that he's fighting is not the Peter that he's familiar with. You know, this is the Tom Holland version, not the Tobey Maguire version. So all of a sudden we see them team up. Are they teaming up to work together? I mean, the thing about Doctor Octopus that made him a very tragic villain is that he was very fond of Peter, you know, and he was always doing things for the greater good. It's just he let his tech take over him and mess with his mind and all that. Very tragic. And that's why, you know, Spider-Man 2 has been one of the best, you know, comic book superhero type movies for a long time, because the villain is very well done and well thought out. So is that because of his feeling towards Peter, or wanting to do good? Is that why they've decided to team up together? Is that why they're having all of these conversations and all that? Again, another question I have from this trailer. As far as the changing of his tech and his look, does that explain why Electro is now yellow instead of blue? You know, I like the look of Jamie Foxx's character here. I especially love the special. We only get a really flash glimpse of it, and of course you won't be able to see it until you really, you know, pause and analyze how the electricity forms the mask, the very iconic comic book mask of Electro's character. I love how they did that little subtle thing, which is very cool. Then we get to see Spider-Man in, at least we think it's Spider-Man, Tom Holland, in a new suit, and with these rings forming around his arms. What kind of suit is this? Now, is this a new suit that was like fused with some magic from Doctor Strange? You know, is this like a mystical suit now that he has? Or Are they throwing another curveball at us? Is this another version of a different Spider-Man from a different universe? Because he looks a little menacing in this one. He looks a little... This does not look like a Tom Holland like Spider-Man in this suit. Now, in the previous trailer, we do see Tom Holland running through a building in a blackish suit, so it could very well be this. But what kind of suit is this? It's very interesting to see like what that reveal is going to be like. Then it looks like the epic battle, whenever, if this is the end or what have you, happens around this new building or monument that looks like a tribute to Captain America. So what's that about, right? Like, is this another moment where we're paying tribute to Captain America now that he's no longer around or what have you like that? I find that very interesting. At first, when I saw the trailer right away, I was like, wait, is this a new version of the Avengers Tower? I was like, no. It looks like it's something that's really centric towards Captain America. You have a giant Captain America shield on top. You know, is this now like a tribute to the new Captain America that we're getting? Will the new Captain America show up because of this? Who knows, right? Again, another question, but a little interesting tidbit that I caught there in this trailer. Now, like I mentioned before, we are getting all of these villains and all that, and it does look like the huge epic battle that takes place happens all around here, and then we get that epic comic book superhero action shot, you know, where you have the one hero going against this monumentous group of villains, right? Now, before we get into that, we also get a glimpse of this guy. Who's this guy? Looks like it's another Green Goblin. It kind of looks like the James Franco Goblin with the glider and all that. Or is this the Han? Is this the Han Goblin that we got in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man? You know, it looks like he's wearing a hood. It's not William Dafoe. We could obviously tell that. So who is this guy, right? Is this someone that is fighting alongside with these other villains, or is this guy fighting along with Spider-Man? Who knows, right? So again, another question. But going back to now the epic villain shot. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys may have caught this or not. One thing that really caught my eye is that as they're going through the slow-mo, and you have Sandman, Electro, Lizard, all jumping towards Peter there. Look at the the eye lines. For some reason, they all don't look like they're paying attention to Tom Holland's Peter. You got Lizard, who looks like he's looking and jumping towards somebody else. You kind of have Electro kind of maybe eyelining someone else along his peripheral vision, along his point of view. You know, the only one that looks like is really going towards Peter is possibly Sandman. And then later on, we get to see a quick montage, and you see Sandman's fist just barely missing Peter as he's like falling down and all that, diving down. So who are they? If this is a digitally altered shot, who are we missing? Is this where Tobey and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is? Or are there going to be different people? Is this where we get Daredevil or Charlie Cox's Daredevil in the mix? Okay, I'm talking crazy because, again, it's fun to speculate. I'm not taking this seriously. It's just looking interesting, right? So I'm very, very curious if we're missing something in this shot because, you know, very similarly to like what I did with and this going back months ago, I did a Tom and Jerry movie review, and one thing that always bothers me is the problem that sometimes when you mix animation with live action, the eye lines don't always, you know, match. So if a character is going this way, the actor sometimes might be looking that way. It's because they're not timing the eye lines properly, right? They're not aligning it all well. Now, this was done for a trailer, so maybe they're thinking not a lot of people are going to catch it, or did they do this on purpose to kind of tease us a little bit more, right? It's very obvious it looks a little off to me. Let me know what you all think in the comments if I'm talking crazy out of my ass or if there's something here, right? So huge question mark. What's happening in this scene, and who else, if anybody, is in this battle alongside with Peter? It also looks like Peter is going against Doctor Strange a little bit. stealing this artifact from him, maybe hoping that he could, correct the whole multiverse breaking and all that stuff like that. Also, we are seeing that Peter is having a hard time trying to figure out how he's going to solve all this stuff, right? And it's too much for him, which is kind of like an ongoing struggle that Spider-Man has always had, not only in the movies but also in the comic books, right? It is like you take on too much, you're just one person, how am I going to accomplish all of this stuff? So could this mean the end of this Spider-Man after all it's said and done, right? Plus, we don't see Vulture anywhere, so Michael Keaton's character is nowhere to be found. Is he going to show up at all? If this is the Sinister Six movie without it officially being the Sinister Six movie, is he going to make an appearance or not, or what have you? Or maybe there's going to be a nice tease at the end of this movie. Now, the last question I have here before I wrap things up is, you have the very iconic falling off a building scene with Mary Jane, and you have Tom Holland, Peter trying to rescue her. Could this be maybe the end of Mary Jane in this movie? Could this add another thing to the grief or the burden of Peter Parker to culminate all of this stuff that's been happening? Don't know, right? It for some reason, this scene screamed very Gwen Stacy to me. Could this be a Gwen Stacy moment, but instead of Gwen Stacy, it's Mary Jane? Who knows, right? So huge question mark, but overall, very interesting trailer. They said that, advanced tickets will go on sale on November 29th. They're dubbing it Spider-Man Day. So Spider-Man Day is Monday, November 29th. That must mean they're planning to do other stuff on that day. What that is, who knows? But I'm sure if you stay up to date with their social media and everything like that, things will be revealed later on. Or stay tuned to this channel and I'll discuss whatever the announcements are leading up towards that day, and if there's anything worth covering. So, as always, it doesn't matter at all what in the world or hell I think. What really matters most is what you guys think. So do let me know your thoughts about the trailer and anything that I've mentioned in this video. Is there something else that I've missed that maybe you want to talk about? Leave all of your thoughts, questions, and comments in the comment section. And again, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. And I'll catch all of you guys in the next one. Peace.